Powered by Riverside.
Hello and welcome into TheSadFan, where we talk about the good, the bad, and everything that made you sad. And I've just got one lyric. Oh, he's on it. Welcome back, Ja Morant, to the NBA. Has he learned anything yet? We don't know. We don't know if he's learned anything.
I don't know. What song is that? Who's that by?
That's the beginning of Return of the Mac, you liar.
No, it's like...
Return of the Mac.
Wes jumped in like a white guy, one lyric too early. One lyric too early.
I'm here all day, baby.
All right.
Yeah, he's your buddy on karaoke where you're singing the dual karaoke song, and you're like, no, the words aren't up yet, Wes. And he's like, I got it. I know the words.
I know what I'm doing.
I've been singing this damn song for 20 years.
Bless the rains down in Africa. All right.
All right. So
34 points and a buzzer beater.
Yeah, he's back. And I don't know if he's learned anything because
Did he learn lessons? No, but he's still got game.
I was going to say, some of the social media making fun of him after congratulated him and making fun of him. There was both. You had the congratulations for Ja Morant, and you have the has this guy even learned anything yet? Was this punishment something that's going to accomplish anything?
Why do people think he hasn't learned anything?
Some of the things he said, people were like, I don't know if I would say that if I'm just getting back. They're expecting contrition, right? Anytime you get a punishment like this, you're expecting him to be contrite. You're expecting him to acknowledge that he did wrong. None of that's happened. He just went out and balled out. And people were like, maybe he's good. Maybe it's okay.
Hey, you know what? At least he's better than Draymond Green, someone else who was indefinitely suspended.
He was, and we did talk about the punch heard round Phoenix last week when he said he was just flopping, and he would be honest if he wasn't just flopping. And I was like, Drake, we've all seen a punch before, all right?
Yeah, and now he has anger management counseling.
Yeah, and then that's tore the whole world in half, and I can't stand it anymore because everything's got to be like, well, it's racist clearly, and I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know that this is about race. I just think he punched a guy in the face. They're like, hey, you probably can't punch your coworkers in any other job in the whole world in the face.
Well,
so the one thing I will say about Ja is his issues were off the court. He wasn't threatening people on the court. He was just being a dumbass trying to act like a gangster off the court.
Yeah, Josh, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, like, I've worked a few labor jobs here and there, and sometimes a little punch is okay.
A little punch? So Josh is like, all right, y'all, I'm your supervisor. Let's go ahead and take this behind the bullshit back there.
Yo, you was late 20 minutes, bub. That's a punch in the chest. That's sternum or nipples.
What was it? Was it
Josh was born on third base. Let's be real.
Oh, it's Zombieland. Zombieland. How hard you want it? 3/4?
How do you want it? All right, moving on.
All right, so welcome back, Ja Morant. And then Steph Curry, he may not be a member of a team with a winning record, but he shows teams that he could still own them. Because against the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown, early in the game, decided he was going to post up Steph Curry, who's not one of the biggest guys in the NBA, and then proceed after he got the points to say Steph Curry was too short. And that game did not end in Jaylen Brown's favor. What did you think of the end of that game, Wes?
Steph was cold-blooded. He's the only good player on that team. He's still got it. Something that Draymond Green and Klay Thompson do not still got. He's ice cold. He's still making those dagger threes at the end of games. Like, what do you want me to do? I can't help it. He's good. Oh. I'm just glad everyone else on the Warriors sucks because I hate the freaking team.
I got into an argument with somebody at work the other day. I said, he's the best shooter ever. And he's like, no, he's not Ray Allen. I was like, no. Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time. It's not close. He could handle off the dribble. He could shoot from anywhere on the court. He doesn't have to post up. He doesn't have to go off screens. He can also do those things. I was like, it's over. Debate over. Curry. Steph Curry's the best shooter of all time.
Also, quite the funny guy. He was on a recent podcast I listened to. He's a good guy, and he's got some wit.
Yeah,
that matters.
Yeah, I just hate that. I can't wait for him to get out of the NBA, Josh, because everything he does is like family wholesome and like that good guy image. And I'm just like, I can't wait till he's done with this so we can see who he really is or how.
So he is. I want to see him open a strip club or something. Yeah, I can't wait.
I actually know, like, so I met someone when I was golfing in Vegas, and so he's a caddy for the club, and he said that he actually caddied for Steph Curry, and like Steph Curry like really liked him as a caddy or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so he invited him out to like hang out with them, party with them later that night. And then he got their number. And so every time Steph Curry is in Vegas, he has him caddy for him, and he like goes out to the club with them. He's like part of their like Vegas entourage now.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just pick up that friend you just dropped down here. All right. There you go, Wes. You can have that one.
Yeah.
All right, so if those of you who haven't noticed, or those of you in the crowd that just heard us start talking about basketball and didn't leave because you were waiting for the NFL talk, you've noticed that Josh from Gorp and Josh from Popcorn and Beers is here this week in place of the ever-absent Chelsea, who we're really hoping to return.
We love you.
Eventually, yeah, we miss her. We hope she comes back. But in the meantime, we've got a This Year in Sports from Josh. So, Josh, hit us with the This Year in Sports.
Gentlemen, I tend to hit you with some weird stuff once in a while. I'm going to hit you with
a lot of water fry.
I'm going to hit you with something that happened 12/31, 35 years ago. You folks are 35, right? The two of you, 35 years old?
Yep. The two of yous.
The two of yous, you twos.
Almost 36.
So the year you were born, roughly, was one of the greatest, most historical NFL games of all time. Can you guess? I'm going to give you a hint. It's Chicago. It's Philadelphia.
Okay.
It's the Fog Bowl.
The Fog Bowl, okay.
Remember this? You heard of this? No?
No.
I've probably seen recap of the Fog Bowl in many Sunday's morning coverage.
I encourage everyone to take a look, but it's on YouTube somewhere. Because back then they had cameras. It wasn't that long ago. But the first half started like any other game, regular old game, no big deal. But the second half, somehow, this fog just fell on the field, and it was 15-yard visibility for the rest of the game.
Damn.
Yeah, it looked like Silent Hill in this mother effer. No joke. NFC divisional playoff game, 15-yard visibility. Bears win 20-12. But I encourage anyone to YouTube this mother effer, as I say once again. It's really an incredible sight. It's very similar to the Mud Bowl. I'm not sure if you guys know about that one. It's just a wild, weird thing, and this is what I think is wonderful about football, basketball, soccer. None of these jerk boy games play like football. Football is get to work.
So
snakes on the field. Who cares?
What was the score at halftime?
Oh, I don't know that. Come on.
Because you said it happened in the second half, so I'm imagining most of the scoring happened in the first half. Because I feel like that'd be pretty high for like 15 yards of visibility.
Yeah, I would guess so, and I would also guess that it wasn't a terrible thing, because in the 80s, the late 80s, it was a lot of running. You know what I mean?
Well, I could just imagine like a running back running with the ball, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, you just see this big linebacker coming for your ass. Like,
yeah. They can make a
see a shadow in the fog.
A scary movie could be made about this game. So thank you for that.
Players on the field were murdered.
This is your
yeah.
year in sports.
Just stabbing people, and no one even knows because hey, where's
So
our running back? He got
when I was in
shanked.
high school, Wes knows about this. We played against one of Oregon's quarterbacks, Nathan Kosa, in the playoffs, and they were actually rated to go to the championship in our high school league, and we beat them in a game where the visibility was so low that we couldn't watch the film the next week. The film was unwatchable after the first quarter.
Right.
After the first quarter, the game film was terrible. You couldn't see anything. But on the field, even, you couldn't see the players until they jogged off. Like when they jog off the field on the sideline, you'd see like a jersey coming at you at about 5 yards out, and you'd be like, "Oh, there's a person."
Yeah, I've had this experience myself in Colorado. There's a lot of ice games, dude, and it's just like in between plays, everyone's got their hand in their groin to warm it up.
Yeah,
and
that's where you learn it. Your coach tells you, put your hands in your pants. It's always warm down there.
Just do it. Get it down in the gooch. And then, there's people like actively crying in between plays, during plays. Like, this is painful. But that's what football is. And that's why we love football, because you get to work. Shut up.
I remember I always tried to be the tough guy because I would watch people and they're like, hey, what you do is you wear short sleeves to intimidate the other guys. They're all out there in the warm. You want to show them you feel no. And I'd do it, man. And I'd wear no sleeves, And I remember I was playing in a place called Somerville, which is way up in the mountains in California. And it was snowing. And it was freezing. It was snowing. And they decided they were going to throw the ball, which high school teams don't typically do in the snow. And I jumped up. And I batted a pass down, and I still to this day say it felt like a rock hit me right in the middle of my hand, like someone threw a rock, and it just smashed me. And I remember on the sideline trying to like flex my hand out to get like the bruise that's in the palm of my hand to stop hurting before I had to go out there again.
It's like in baseball when it's cold and you hit it low on the bat, and it just like rings your freaking hands for like a good solid couple minutes.
I was a center back then, so I had my hand in my butthole the whole time because I had to keep warm. I mean, I'm right now, currently, it's in there.
Where's his right arm? We don't know.
Nothing's changed.
But yeah, no, I'll never forget that. There is no give in ice games. The pads are harder.
Josh is eating, so he's got to figure out some way to keep his hands warm.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, moving on. It is college recruit season, Wes, and I was having this thought as I was watching everybody get recruited, where people were going to go next year, where the freshmen were going to be, and I literally am sitting there and I go, who cares? Because of NIL. It's really weird.
Transfer portal.
Because of NIL and because of the transfer portal I'm kind of excited about, right? Oregon's pissing me off because somehow Daddy Phil, Big Uncle Phil,
we picked up the starting quarterback from Oklahoma.
And UCLA.
Yeah, and UCLA. And the UCLA quarterback is just going to, he knows that he's going to sit for a year. And he's okay with that because I guess he wants to learn under Dylan Gabriel.
Bro.
But it's like, what kind of world are we stealing Oklahoma's quarterback?
Also, who wants to sit on the bench in Eugene, Oregon over Santa Monica, California? That tripped me out. I was like, you're going to get paid no matter where you go. Maybe. But that's in Santa Monica now too, bro. Ask Josh. He went to the apothecary and he's like, got some really nice pot shops out here, bro.
No, folks are getting paid way above minimum wage in this little apothecary.
Well, Josh, I've never been there, and I go
glass tables and stuff.
Yeah, and I go, Josh, did you go? And he goes, yeah, that shit's 2 floors.
That's wrong, dog.
That's
gentrification.
Josh, that's the startup you needed to be on.
He tried.
What?
He tried.
Working in weed?
He tried.
No, that one specifically.
The apothecary. Josh needs to open up Josh's apothecary. Now, did you have this thought? Because you're right, Wes, when you say the transfer portal. I'm more interested in the transfer portal than National Signing Day. because I'm looking at these players and I'm like, man, if they don't start right away, or if another school offers them, they're gone. And we talked about this last year. There's no term limits.
Even if they do start, if they don't if they're not digging your coach, they're gone.
Yeah, Malachi Moore left.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do?
I mean, Dylan Gabriel started, but I guess he just didn't like Brett Venables, and so he said,
a grad transfer. I think Gabriel's a grad transfer.
Okay. I mean, but still, though, I mean, like from my point of view, Oklahoma has like a record of developing Heisman quarterbacks.
Yeah, but under Lincoln Riley.
I think maybe he just thinks Oregon has a better shot at going to the playoffs and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Also correct.
Well, maybe because they're going to the SEC. What's that, Josh?
I'm on board with whatever Wes just said. All of that is correct. We got a stable in Oklahoma.
I said Malachi Moore.
Oregon's going to playoffs. That's what's up.
Yeah, Oklahoma football speaks for itself. I mean,
it's both going to be hard. I meant Dante Moore, by the way. It was Dante Moore that left for Oregon.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you got two big conferences now. You got SEC. Well,
you want to know why Dante Moore went to Oregon? Because we're still paying Chip Kelly. He's a spy for Oregon.
Phil Knight, man. Phil Knight's... Everybody's talking about how checks aren't cashing, right? Everybody's talking about how some of this NIL money's not coming through. People aren't making the money. Unless you're Olivia Doon, you're not getting paid. And all of a sudden, Uncle Phil's checks seem to keep cashing. So we had something that I felt was not okay. And this goes back to the days when Josh was still watching football regularly. We had Tennessee Titans, formerly known as the Houston Oilers. They moved to Tennessee, where the Houston Oilers uniforms in Tennessee against the Houston Texans. Is this okay in any world?
So a little bit of a backstory. So when Houston left to go to Tennessee and they became the Tennessee Oilers, they kept the rights to the name and the rights to the uniforms. And so when Houston created, and it's a little bit different because a lot of people know the Seattle Sonics, when they got bought out by the Thunder, Seattle made sure that they kept the rights to the name and the uniforms. So when there's a new team that comes back to Seattle, more than likely it's going to be the Seattle Sonics, but Houston didn't do that. So when they created a new team, they had to create something entirely new. And Tennessee still has the rights to everything. So if they wanted to, they could rename themselves to the Oilers next year. No other team can do that. So
Cleveland.
It was... Yeah.
Cleveland kept their name rights to the Browns.
Yeah. But no other team can name themselves the Oilers. And so when they played...
to name yourself the Oilers. That's so
disgusting. Those uniforms are great.
They're sick.
Those uniforms are great.
I can't remember. Was the game in Tennessee or Houston?
Tennessee.
Okay. Yeah, so when Houston came to town, they made sure this was no accident. This was definitely a kick in the balls. They made sure to wear their old school uniforms, aka the old Houston uniforms, as a middle finger. And I'm glad Houston won.
Houston won. Okay, nice. Well, I'm a big fan of the old-fashioned rap diss track, you know what I mean? So I'm on board with all this, and I'm also on board because you gentlemen, if no one else knows, my history of not giving a crap about teams. Raiders are in Vegas now. San Diego is not the Chargers. It is the Chargers. Who else is in San Diego? Everyone's just moving wherever they want. Baltimore Ravens have a Maryland flag just to verify that they're definitely from Maryland. All this it's malarkey, dude. It's so stupid to pretend that they're anything else but corporate. You don't belong to the state. Shut up.
We know they're corporate. But it's a release, man. I'm going to show you the episode of American Dad.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the episode of American Dad where Steve Smith realizes what sports means to the community because everybody's sick and tired of all week long from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. going to their dang job where they have no control, no happy, and then on Sundays you get that release. You get to be a wild person. You get to be somebody else. You get to paint your face. You get to drink all day and eat chicken wings. Yeah. Don't take people's happy, Josh. But also, Josh
is a liar.
Because I could go, hold on, Wes. I can go all the way back to 2007 when that Josh was rooting for the Packers because he thought the Brett Favre Packers were the only team that had a shot against the undefeated Patriots. Okay, and when the Giants beat the Packers, Josh was so mad he walked out of the dorm during a dorm party. We were having a party for this playoff game, and I walked out to get him, and I go, "Bro, where are you going?" And he goes, "No, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that because now the Patriots going to win, and they're going to go undefeated." And he's like, "I don't want to be a part of it. I'm going to go to my room."
You know what? You want to know something, Fry? I'm glad you remembered that because that was the day I decided I need to go to mental health and get some antidepressants, dog. That's when I realized I have chronic depression.
Eli Manning was your wake-up call. That was your moment.
And I'm still on the pills today.
So Eli Manning, if you're listening, we thank you for helping Josh find the help he needs.
My goodness.
But you know what? The Giants did it. They beat the Patriots.
They did end up beating the Patriots. Yeah, that was wild because I ended up getting in trouble.
Nice, dude.
But that
The helmet catch. The helmet catch. Yep. I will never forget that.
But speaking of uniforms, I want to point out, we're talking about uniforms and all this and that. Wes, good job with the Freshie Fresh right now. What you got going on right here? What year is that?
The Seahawks lime green or action green uniforms.
Action green.
In tribute to their game this past Monday, when they upset the world and conquered the Eagles with an amazing comeback, including like a tiptoe interception to save the game. I'm still not even sure that interception, like he got both feet in, because that toe looked like it might have skimmed like one blade of grass. It was so close. Yeah. He had ball control, but it was just like one little bit of grass. And I was like, I think he got both feet in. It's too close to tell. I think if they ruled it wasn't an interception on the field, they would have kept it.
So in all that, Wes, do you know what Pete Carroll's record against Philadelphia is?
He's undefeated against Philadelphia.
8-0.
7-0. 8-0.
8-0.
They haven't. The Eagles have not beat the Seahawks since George W. Bush was president.
W.
So it was a great game. It was a lot of fun. The highlights were fun. Drew Lock got emotional, which is always awkward for me, but it also shows you how much it means to these players when they do get their shot and they're able to make good on their shot.
Yeah, Lock's no Purdy, but he's a really good backup.
He's got a rocket arm, man. If he could just not throw interceptions, he's got that arm can throw the ball 70 yards.
I mean, he didn't throw any interceptions. It was only Hurts throwing the picks last game.
Yeah. it was a great game, and we've got. Go ahead.
So I'm actually kind of glad everything, because now we're right in the mix for the wild card. And another little thing is it puts the 49ers in control for the number 1 seed, which is good because I am so freaking tired of playing the 49ers in the playoffs. So if they get the 1 seed, that means we are guaranteed to not have to play them in the freaking wild card round of the playoffs. So we might actually have a chance to advance to the divisional round.
Chance to advance, boys.
Wes, if you win,
so sick of playing the Niners.
You're going to be one of the last seeds into the playoffs. So that means if you win your playoff game, do you know who you play?
Probably the Niners, but at least if we make it past the wild card, we'll have a playoff win under our belt. So we'll have some mojo, instead of coming off of getting our asses kicked by them twice during the season.
All right. We had the Cowboys get upset again, which I know makes everyone in the whole world happy.
The game was amazing. I love that game. I love every time the Cowboys get their asses kicked.
It's America's team, right? It's America's team.
I was looking at the game thread on Reddit. Those Cowboy fans were so mad. They were so angry.
Josh, it's the teams we hate. It's because of their fans, right? The teams we hate in the world, it's because of their fans.
Correct, dude. That's why I'm barely a Denver Donkeys fan, because I'm aware of the fans that reside in Denver. Like, they're disgusting. I've been to Denver games. I'm like, sure, I'm like kind of from Colorado, so I claim the Donkeys, but like I've been to the game and they're awful, dude. And that's why we hate the Patriots fans. And that's definitely why we hate America's team, the Cowboys.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Right.
Everybody always asks me, do you hate the Chiefs the most? Do you hate the Chargers? No, I hate the Broncos, and it's because of their fans. Their fans will harass you online. Their fans are obnoxious in public. Their
Gross.
fans are always going to the Super Bowl.
They'll
and I'm
put
just
a
like,
boot in your ass.
I cannot stand Broncos fans.
Ravens fans are worse than that. At least when they lived in Oakland. I don't know. I think Raiders fans are cooler, but the Oakland
not
fans were just
sure.
awful.
I'm not sure Wes has much room to talk because I was in Seattle on game day once upon a time, and the hate spew, my goodness.
Hey, you guys want to know something? Actually,
Tell
you go to a game and you get 60,000 fans. There are some of them that are going to be really intoxicated, and there's going to be a portion of those people.
Wes is one of them.
Those people that are assholes, like in real life, like, and so the drunkenness just amplifies their assholeness. There's always really shitty fans in every team.
It's like what Fry said earlier. Like when you're uneducated and you don't have much going for you, and you have just a really bad work week.
That's not what I said.
On Sunday, this is the one chance you get to be happy. This is all Fry's words. I'm quoting right now.
I think what it is when your team is big, or like when your fan base is bigger, there's gonna be more of those obnoxious asshole fans, and they're just gonna stick out.
I don't credit them with having a big fan base at all. I just credit them with being
The Cowboys.
America's team
fans.
No, I was talking about the Broncos.
Cowboys have a large fan base, but
Patriots,
everything below the Mason-Dixon.
Patriots and the Cowboys, yeah, they have a massive fan base.
The best,
and so you're just going to counter more assholes.
The best Riz up that the Cowboys ever got was Little Giants.
Starring Reba McEntire.
Remember that with the Cowboy star in the Little League?
Yeah.
If you go to any Buffalo Wild Wings like bar in the country on a Sunday, chances are you're probably going to see a Patriots fan and a Cowboys fan. It doesn't matter where you are.
And a Steelers fan.
Yeah, and a Steelers
But
fan.
I don't hate the Steelers. I don't hate the Steelers. It's weird. Like I don't think the Steelers have bad fans. Yeah.
French fries.
No. 2006.
Go
they can go
Steelers.
at themselves.
The Super
Roethlisberger,
Bowl.
bathroom stall.
Cheaters. They all cheated. That whole
All right.
cheaters.
Big
I hate them
games
all.
coming up. Which one of these games do you think is more of a Super Bowl preview? Dolphins, Cowboys, or Ravens, 49ers?
Ravens, 49ers.
Ravens, 49ers?
Yeah.
Two is good. And Mike McDaniel? Are you kidding me? That guy's like some sort of freaking genius savant in the way he called the play. He was like, yeah, this is going to be a one-play drive. And what do you know? Tua throws a touchdown on the first play of the drive.
Yep, Jalen Waddle deep ball. He knew exactly what defense they were going to be in, exactly what was going to happen, and exactly how that play was going to result. Yo.
Nostradamus. Mike
it's
McDaniel.
That's repetition.
Throstradamus. We quoted it here.
That was...
I love how Wes, though, I don't know if the audience caught it, but I caught it. He goes, oh, Ravens 49ers. And then he immediately goes, Tua's good. Let's talk about the Dolphins.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think the Ravens, just because they're really good, but I could see the Dolphins going there, too, for the AFC.
Yeah? I think the AFC, the road to the AFC playoffs is offense. It's going to be whoever scores the most points in the AFC.
Chiefs, Ravens, Dolphins. It's going to be one of those three.
And then you got Cowboys, Eagles, and 49ers in the
and
NFC.
Seahawks. Don't forget us. Wild card, baby. Let's go.
And the TheSadFan. Don't forget about us. As always, we appreciate you joining us every single week. We're on a bit late this week, so we apologize. We'll be back to your regular scheduled programming next week. Remember, you can find us on Twitter. I'm just saying it now because Elon hates it. On Twitter at TheSadFan12, on Twitter at TheSadFanCast, and on TikTok and Instagram.
People
Thank
are
you so much for joining
gonna
us
watch this
week.
in 6 months, and they're gonna be like, "Twitter's gone. Why is
No
he
one's
talking about that?"
gonna watch this in 6 months. Happy New Year, guys.